A very good evening to you and thank you for tuning into Brand Plus TV. It's always a delight knowing that you've taken your time and are keeping us company. I am Ondiro Ganga, ready to bring you up to speed with all the top stories making headlines. And as you know, we are all about business. Here's a glance of some of those stories.
Review the sugar industry value chain, including research.
Sugar Industry Task Force launched. Have we finally found the sweet spot? The Big Five construct East Africa 2018. Are we equipped to deliver world-class constructions?
You take a short time to get a kilo from crickets, yet the value of the cricket is much higher than that one of those other protein sources.
Pesky profits. Crickets. Yes, please. Thank you for staying with us. Now on to our top story. Agriculture, Livestock and Irrigation Cabinet Secretary Mwangi Kiunjuri, Devolution CS Eugene Wamalwa, and Kakamega County Governor Dr. Wycliffe Oparanya, together with leaders from the Sugar Belt region, today officially announced the launch of the Sugar Industry Task Force. The launch comes following a presidential directive during this year's Mashujaa Day celebration in Kakamega County. Take a look.
Starting with the launch of the...
Speaking during the launch, CS Kiunjuri said the task force has several objectives that it seeks to achieve in the next 30 days. The task force will keenly look into the sugar industry, trying to find out what is truly ailing the sector and thereafter present its findings to the president.
Regulatory and institutional framework of the sugar industry and make appropriate recommendations. Review past, present, and emerging challenges facing the sugar industry. And all these, I will read them. I don't have to repeat appropriate recommendations. Review the sugar industry value chain, including research, and make appropriate recommendations. Review importation and taxation structures in the sugar sector. Undertake an absolute and comparative assessment of the sugar industry competitiveness in the East African community, the common markets for Eastern and Southern Africa, that is COMESA, and globally, and also make appropriate recommendations. Undertake an analysis of the role of different stakeholders, segments, and make recommendations on how stakeholders can collaborate amongst themselves and with the national county government to develop the sugar subsector. Identify and evaluate the most suitable strategic interventions to revitalize the state-owned sugar mills. Review the pricing mechanism in the sugar sector and make appropriate recommendations. Review funding mechanism, make recommendations, address all other issues that may revitalize the sugar industry.
Sugarcane farming is the main economic mainstay.
Kakamega County Governor Dr. Oparanya, during his address, challenged CS Kiunjuri to pay sugarcane farmers. This, he says, is the first step towards righting all the wrongs committed against sugarcane farmers in the past.
But I would also request through you, the Cabinet Secretary in charge of agriculture, that we embark on a program to start paying farmers so that we do not wait for the task force. As you are doing the same for the maize farmers, you do the same for the sugarcane farmers. I think what you will require is to carry out an audit as soon as possible, and the money should be availed from the Treasury. The President already committed 2.6 billion, the farmers' arrears, which we should be able to pay. And this will also encourage the farmers to start farming cane. They had actually abandoned cane farming because of non-payment. And if this is done, I'm sure that we will move forward.
Also present was Devolution CS Eugene Wamalwa, who said that revival of the industry will take concerted efforts between the national and county governments. This is despite the fact that agriculture is a devolved function.
The mere fact that we have both the national government and the county seated here shoulder to shoulder is a recognition of the fact that agriculture is devolved, that the two levels of government must work together. And my ministry is really to work on that intergovernmental relations to ensure that we work together. Because the issue of sugar is a crisis that goes beyond the counties. It affects our national economy. That's why we're here, and we're going to work together to ensure that this matter is resolved. And I know some of the issues that will be looked at. There are those who have been asking whether the national government can leave the counties to maybe take over those factories. But as national government, the history will show that a lot of money has been pumped into these public entities with little success. So this task force will be looking at that reason why the private ones are doing well and not the public ones. And I think by working together, we'll be able to resolve these issues and to find not just short-term, but long-term solutions to what bedevils this industry.
The task force will comprise of 14 people, among them CS Mwangi Kiunjuri, co-chairperson, Kakamega County Governor Dr. Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya, who will also co-chair, and Kisumu Governor Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. The task force shall work within a 30-day time frame with specific deliverables as outlined in the task force details work plan. Construction is a strategic industry in developing economies like Kenya, and to this end, ICOS, in partnership with the National Construction Authority, today opened the doors to the Big Five Construct East Africa, an exhibition with the aim of raising the standards. Our reporter Karari John attended day one, and here is the report.
The face of the construction industry is quickly changing, a transformation driver by technology and enhanced interconnectivity. Today, the International Construction Research Conference, together with the National Construction Authority Kenya, hosted the Big Five Construct East Africa 2018, bringing together key players in the construction industry. The gates were open to the members of the public to get an experience of what both local and international industry players have to offer. The public was treated to nothing short of the world-class display of the latest in construction technologies and machinery.
We are going places in this conference. Yes.
During the official opening, Principal Secretary, State Department of Public Works, Paul Mwangi Maringa, started by stating the ministry's mandate and went ahead to extend an invitation to the industry players for collaborations.
Our ministry is tasked with the considerable task of developing a demand-based plan for social and affordable housing within the Big Four agenda. The roadmap to this destiny must make sense to all of us, the players in here. And for this reason, we're inviting you. Our ministry is open to all of you. We consider you to be partners in some cases, clients in other cases, mentors in other cases. So even after this, some inquiry session that we'll be involved in, and dissemination and sharing of information, we invite you into our ministry so we can test the demand-based master plan that we have developed and assure ourselves that we can deliver on this pledge that was declared on behalf of the ministry, by the government, by HE, that we can deliver in an inclusive manner where all of you are players. So we don't release money into the industry and it ends up in one pocket. This is money for every Kenyan.
All different kinds of material that you might find.
Land is an important element when it comes to development, and more especially in construction. The PS had this to say on the matter.
So land is a key factor in the housing agenda. And we would like to retool our minds to recognize that it should be of more value to us if we look at land not just as property to trade in and wealth, but a factor of production as an input in the eventual vision of owning houses. We'll be having a debate on this as we go on. And I also encourage you to reflect on this in the coming few days. How is it?
From the Ministry of Public Works, they are in attendance.
With the Ministry of Transport, Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development having been tasked to fulfill the affordable housing pillar of the Big Four agenda, the PS went ahead to lay bare the ministry's plan.
We need to reflect on this. So we need to lower the construction cost realistically by examining all these inputs and realigning them. We want to upscale developer capacity. We want to be sure developers can walk into the market and deliver at a maximum so that there is sufficient housing in the markets to, lower the competition. We want to upscale financing, availability and amount of financing. We want to grow the mortgage finance markets as vital ingredients for delivery of affordable housing. We want to make sure financing is available, mortgages can be reached very easily. So this has seen the creation of the Kenya Mortgage Refinancing Company, whose frameworks have been submitted and approved, even in Parliament. We're ready to go. And this essentially will manage low-cost liquidity for mortgages.
The PS went ahead with other delegations from the private sector to officially open the conference and exhibition and toured various stands. For any sector to thrive, the players therein must continually seek to build capacity, and the Big Five Construct East Africa provides the perfect opportunity for construction industry. Reporting for Bram Plus TV, I am Korari John Wambugu.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with Brand Plus TV. This is Business News. Now on to matters healthcare. The University of Nairobi, in partnership with Kenyatta National Hospital, officially opened the first annual International Conference on Health at the nation's biggest referral hospital. The main focus of the three-day event is the attainment of universal healthcare coverage, which is among the sectors that the government is focusing on in its Big Four agenda. Our reporter Daisy Wambua was in attendance and has the following details.
Yes, thank you very much, CF. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Dr. Kariuki, the Senior Deputy Director, Ministry of Health, who spoke in the capacity of the Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Cicely Kariuki, stated that the country, through the ministry, is part of a global community that is committed to achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals.
Kenya is part of a global community that has committed itself to the goals and aspirations of the Global Sustainable Development Goals, and as a health sector, we are fully committed to Goal 3 on ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for all.
The Acting Chief Executive Officer, School of Medicine at the Kenyatta National Hospital, Dr. Thomas Mutie, stated that the institution will benefit once universal health coverage is rolled out, which is an important milestone for the sector.
KNH stands to benefit most from the universal health coverage as envisaged in the agenda of the government. We know that once this program is rolled out, we will benefit in a major way. In fact, it is one of the most important milestones that has happened to the healthcare sector in the country for many years.
Ladies and gentlemen, the college also.
The acting Vice-Chancellor of the University of Nairobi, Dr. Julius Ongeno, was quick to note that good health is the key to economic development.
This is the 5th conference that we have jointly co-hosted with Kenyatta National Hospital over the last 7 years. I'm confident that, like in the previous conferences, the cross-sector and interdisciplinary exchange of ideas that will take place at this conference will yield breakthroughs and significantly contribute to the attainment of universal health care in Kenya. there is global consensus that health is both the driver and the outcome of development.
The organizing committee, chaired by Professor
Dr. Julius further outlined the need for the stakeholders convened at the conference to be drawn from multiple sectors as it touched on all pillars of the Big Four agenda.
The research that is going on in this college speaks directly to the Big Four agenda, the Vision 2030, Sustainable Development Goals, and global citizenship education. It is therefore appropriate that the people participating be drawn from all aspects of college life, from the students to staff of all cadres.
Manage health services. Again, this
A member of the Parliamentary Health Committee, Honorable Dr. James Nyikal, was quick to state that making health a devolved function has brought a challenge in the sector.
We did not sit down and plan for this as we put in the constitution for the 3 years. Human resource we wanted to do, asset we wanted to do, structure we wanted to do. We didn't do those. So that is devolution has brought a challenge. And what you are seeing, therefore, is the devolution is policy and strategies with the national government. And real implementation, sometimes I'm saying it is now the best time to be DMS. Because all no drugs, all people on strike, if you live with Mutias, you live his, and then the governors, they have theirs. The guy is there, the one with the problem. Me, I'm doing policy. I'm doing policy and strategy. So when you call a meeting, you tell what, but there's a problem there.
This session, starting with
He went on to point out that lack of a uniform policy has seen different county hospitals register varying results in the quest for universal health coverage.
Some counties are doing extremely well under devolution in health matters. Some are doing very badly, because there is no uniform policy and uniform standard that will make this happen. So if Kibuta Kibwana is very good and has got a good CEC, what is his name? Mulwa, a very nice young guy, then it works.
This is a college which is no longer in the
Universal healthcare is the key to economic development of any country, and if not keenly addressed, then the nation will witness stagnated growth. This prompts all stakeholders to be committed to seeing that the goal is achieved despite the challenges. Reporting for Brand Plus TV Business News, I am Daisy Wambua.
The hashtag is Business News Online. Interact with us and tell us what your thoughts are on that feature. Let us now take a look at how the markets performed today, and here is a summary. That is just a summary of how the markets performed, but for more in-depth analysis of the same, tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for my next big bet with Rachel Ritu and Karanja Daniel. Let's take a look at the day's weather report. That is all we had for you on the Business News Desk tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Tune in tomorrow again for a fresh serving of news making headlines across the globe in the business world. I am Ondiro Ganga and I'm in business. Case closed.